So I've had a few more questions regarding the ALEKS Pi and the what updates the Pi and how are the assignments that we just talked about, how do those affect the Pi. So if you have not checked this out yet, there is actually a really cool feature in ALEKS that gives you a breakdown of the student's mastery of skills that you have chosen. So that's, again, important that you choose the right skills for your class in a nice and kind of neat layout here. So you can see for this student, you can go into the actual Pi itself, and you can see their different sections: arithmetic readiness, 3 out of 4 topics she had mastered, real numbers, 27 of the 34 topics, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is a really nice feature. However, it's only useful if your students are taking knowledge checks. Okay, so at the very beginning of the course, they are prompted they have to take the knowledge check. That's like the 50-minute test that I was saying, that it kind of figures out exactly the level that each student's at based on the questions that they get correct and incorrect. So the very beginning of the class, there will be a baseline, and so you will have a report for all of your students. And that's really good information. I mean, if there's some topics that the majority of your students have already mastered, then go ahead and skip right past those. You don't need to teach them again. But then if there's some, prerequisite skills that a lot of students are lacking, well, then make sure you hit those up before you try to teach the next skill that would be kind of in the sequence there. So this is really good information. But if we want to continue to get this information and we want to check and see, okay, are the students actually learning the topics that we've been covering, you can do that as well. And so in the next part, I'm actually going to show you how to assign a knowledge check so that if you're in the middle of a trimester and you have a day where you really want to kind of get some data, then you could assign that to your students and have them complete that. All right, so we're back on the class homepage here, and if I want to assign a new knowledge check, I go to assignments. Surprise, surprise. And then after we've clicked on assignments, we're going to click on new assignment, and you'll see scheduled knowledge check. And then you just choose the scheduled knowledge check. You can set your days here. Obviously, goal 100%. Set up all your settings here. Now on here where it says prevent automatic knowledge checks up to 2 days before the assignment starts, you don't really need to do that because if you're using the assignments and you're not using the self-paced lessons, then their students won't be having any at the end knowledge checks. But just to make sure, check that, or uncheck that, sorry. And then you can assign to a class. So you want to assign to a class, and then they don't need a password, so don't require a password. And then if we save that, and we look at the assignments, you can now see that scheduled knowledge check 1 is there. Now, after the student completes this knowledge check, that will update their Pi. So if you want to get an updated Pi for each student, then just schedule a knowledge check, and how they do on that knowledge check will advance their progress in that Pi. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email.